Hello, everybody. This is Tim here again. Had another movie review. And if you hear a dog barking in the background, that's because there's a lot of neighborhood dogs around here. But anyway, I recently just got out of the theater just a few minutes ago watching Ghostbusters Afterlife. Now, this will probably be a pretty quick review since I just now seen the film for the first time. And honestly, this review is probably coming a little late because this movie's been out for a little while now. But as far as I'm concerned, Ghostbusters Afterlife from 1 to 4, I'd give it a 4 out of 4. I had a really good time with this. I really enjoyed it. In terms of the Ghostbusters movies, I love the first one. That one's like a comedy masterpiece. From the 80s. The second one is a good, repetitive, but still fun sequel for the cast. The reboot, I hated. I just was not into that comedy that was done in that reboot. I just couldn't get into it. I want to try to give that one another chance to maybe see if it can go down a little easier now since we got this much better sequel now. I'll check. I'll give it a shot later. Ghostbusters Afterlife, pretty much, you got the story of Egon Spangler's daughter and her children, her son and daughter played by McKenna Grace and Finn Wolfhard from Stranger Things and the It movies, and they moved to his like old farmhouse or whatever, and he's passed away. And the beginning of the movie starts out with this pretty good like Harold Ramis like look-alike, and they don't really show you his face or whatever. They do a pretty good job hiding it, but you know who it is. He runs into the farmhouse and he gets attacked by like this ghost of a demon dog or whatever trying to attack him. And of course, you find out it's the evil boss from the original movie. Um, Gozer, I believe, is the character's name. It's pretty cool that they brought that character back. At the same time, though, later on during like the middle of this movie, towards the third act, it did start to feel a little bit like a remake or similar, a little bit too similar to the first film with the whole demon dogs coming after Paul Rudd and the mom, who they have like a love connection in the movie, and so it makes sense that they would be the ones that end up getting attacked by the dogs, so they can become gatekeeper and keymaster who have to have sex to initiate the arrival of Gozer. Um, but and you got the Stay Puft Marshmallows in here who show up as like minis. It is a little much when they show up, but at the same time it is pretty cool when they start acting like suicidal and burning themselves and melting themselves. That was pretty funny. Paul Rudd is really good here. He's one of the highlights. He plays this teacher or whatever, and he's teaching like summer school, and he's got the kids in there, and he's like, kids, let's watch Cujo. It's about this killer Saint Bernard, think of Beethoven but with rabies. And then later on he's letting them watch Child's Play, and you actually see the movie on, and it's Chucky screaming and yelling and attacking everybody. That was pretty funny. Ivan Reitman, I believe his son Jason Reitman. Yeah, his son Jason Reitman directed this. Ivan Reitman did the original two. He does a good job here directing this. You can feel the difference in like what the movie's going for compared to the original two. Where I like the setting of it being in a small town and not being in New York once again like it was in the first two movies. I like the change of setting. I even like the change of pace for the most part. The comedy in this is more subtle comedy, similar to the first two. Not as funny, I don't think, as the not as funny as the original movie, but about on par, close to being as funny as Ghostbusters 2. At the same time, though, this film does lose a little bit of that standard Ghostbusters feeling from those original two movies by focusing so much on the kids like going on an adventure or whatever, trying to uncover stuff. But by the end of the movie, when it all wraps up, it all comes together pretty well and works really well by the end when you see what the director is going for by the end. Harold Ramis' ghost is like throughout the movie, you see things like moving and all that. And you don't like Egon's ghost. I mean, the actor Harold Ramis passed away, who was in the original too. This film is a very good tribute to him, and you see like things moving in the movie and stuff like that, like helping the kids out and all that. And then by the end of the movie, he actually shows up as a ghost and helps like McKenna Grace's character. She was great in this film. McKenna Grace was. Finn Wolfhard as the brother. He was just okay. I liked him. He was fine. I didn't have any problems with him, but he was kind of off and on in the movie. I think it would have worked better if it was him and his sister looking for like the answers to their grandfather's mysteries and all that, instead of her and this other podcast boy. Which the podcast boy was good. I liked him. He's probably my favorite of the new characters, even though he's not as solid as McKenna Grace's character. But at the same time, though, just in terms of pure comedy and fun, he is pretty enjoyable. Um, yeah, the original team, they get called. Dan Aykroyd gets called from his occult bookstore place. You find out like Egon like left the group because he knew that the end of the world was going to happen, and he wanted to stop it. He built this place that's supposed to have been a farm, but it wasn't. It's actually a giant ghost trap. I thought that was pretty cool. When Gozer shows up at the end or whatever, it's like this model looking chick, similar to the look from the original film, because it's supposed to be the same character. She's like there or whatever, and when the original guys like show up at the end to like back them up because they know it's Egon's grandchildren, they show up there to help out, and she asks him again, "Are you a god?" And then they start talking to each other like, "What should we say?" Because last time we said no, and they're like, "Yes," and then she still strikes him anyway. That was pretty funny. And they do the stream crossing thing to try to take her out, but it doesn't work. And then Egon like shows up there to help out McKenna Grace's character, which is pretty cool. when you saw his ghost like helping her out, and then he goes over there and he's like helping out the guys and all that, Bill Murray and him, and they all like start saying hi to him and how sorry they are they didn't try to get in touch with him more and all that. And then he like hugs his children, his grandchildren, and everything, and his daughter, and he fades away in like this light up into the sky to heaven, I suppose. Really sweet way, and then it ends with like saying 404 Harold, and then like goes back to New York, and then it cuts out with the Ghostbusters music. Really cool, sweet way to end the Harold Ramis character and pass the torch on to the McKenna Grace character. Really well done here. Really, you can tell like Jason Reitman was really respectful of those original two Ghostbusters films, especially the original. This really feels like a follow up straight to that original film, really. Yeah, all in all, 4 out of 4. The middle part of the movie did lag a little bit. Like it felt like this movie didn't have a second act. It kind of felt like it just had a first act that was elongated, and the middle part does start to drag a little bit. But when it gets to the climax and the ghost action really kicks in, it really makes up for it. This is a much more somber film than that original Ghostbusters, or even the second one, where when the ghosts like invade the town at the end, it is pretty cool. That's saying how it doesn't get as like epic and chaotic as that original two films, but it's still kind of good. I do wish though it would have been a little bit more epic, but at the same time though, having more of a downscaled climax does fit the tone more of this one, but I do wish it would have been a little more epic. Um, but yeah, the defeat Gozer at the end by using the whole farmhouse, which is actually a giant ghost trap, by turning it on, and it zaps the shit out of them while they shock it with Harold Ramis helping out. The kids help, and the original guys help, and Harold Ramis' ghost helps, and that's how they take it out. Pretty cool ending. Yeah, all in all, 4 out of 4. Despite some minor problems I had, I really enjoyed it. I would easily watch it again. Once you see the end of the film and where everything's going, I think this film is one that would probably play better on repeated viewings. Once again, I'm sorry about the dogs barking in the background, but yeah, this is a film that I think will play even better on repeated viewings. I hope it gets a sequel. I think it's doing well, even better than the 2016 reboot, which is good. It deserves to do it. It's better than the reboot easily. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. Any other problems? Only other like minor problems I had is like the black chick in this, who plays like the love interest for Finn Wolfhard's character. Like she could have pretty much been left out of the whole movie. There was really no reason to have her there. I felt like she was just inserted just to give Finn Wolfhard's character something to do, somebody to talk to. But she really does nothing. By the end, she does start to help out a little bit, and then she gets turned into a dog. Once they free the mom, she has to take her place, and she gets turned into a dog. And then they free her after they take out the bad guy. Her character could have pretty much been completely written out. You didn't really need her. But all in all, yeah, 4 out of 4. Hopefully, her character would be explored more in a sequel if we get one. But yeah, either way, though, you really could, even if we don't get a sequel, this is a good ending for the Ghostbusters story, but I do hope it gets another one. But yeah, all in all, 4 out of 4, I really enjoyed it. Second best Ghostbusters film, in my opinion. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you again.